Hello. We are anonymous. There is a system that we have all been born and bred to live by and die for, be obedient to and suffer for. The system in which is being described is the monetary system. Ever since the advent of money, humans in our recorded history have been completely defined by it. Money has been responsible for the division of class, culture, language, and ultimately, our personal happiness. As long as we live in a monetary system we shall never progress, because without money, we cannot live in this system. Money, if intelligently thought about, is in fact not necessity. Human necessities are food, water, a right to have a roof over our heads, and to do as we see fit for our own individual lives. Money and the monetary system is the reason why we are failing today, because as long as paper money exists, none of us will transcend. Money, at one time, actually had value attached to it because of the discovery of what we will call precious metals. These are rare minerals found buried within our planet that have many uses and are highly desired, and consist of platinum, gold, silver, copper, diamonds and so on. In America, the use of gold and silver certificates were the only thing that gave our currency value, because these notes had physical, tangible value attached to it. Today, paper money is nothing more than promissory notes that are exchanged with the Federal Reserve and are created out of thin air. Of course, the demonizing factor in which most people are oblivious to is the fact that these notes are created with debt attached to it. Debt is what is driving our economy down and creating the situation we all find ourselves in today. Every dollar and coin in your pocket is in fact an object of debt to someone else. As long as there is debt attached to money, we will never end this crisis we are all in, and it will continue to get worse if action is not taken immediately. It is time to look to our past in order to force the monetary system into oblivion. What we are speaking of is trade, or what was once known as the bartering system. This system is useful because it eliminates the use of money by having people interact and negotiate for the exchange of goods and services. If I have a tool my neighbor needs to fix their house, and I need a lawnmower to care for my lawn, the dialogue begins, and if all works well, an exchange is made for these items so that both parties can accomplish what they need to do. The same goes for food. If I needed a simple ingredient like vegetable oil to cook and my neighbor needed cough syrup for their sick daughter and both parties were in possession of these items, the dialogue begins and an exchange is made until both sides are satisfied. By becoming self-reliant, we free ourselves of the bonds of servitude, because then we truly become a free society that works for each other and not against one another. By trading in precious metals and growing our own food as well as producing our own goods, we are able to exchange these items with our fellow man without any barriers of class and race. The powers that exist would never allow for such a thing because of one aspect of human nature, which is the ultimate driving force behind people that desire power and glory, and what we are speaking of is, of course, greed. Greed drives people to do harm and cause suffering upon others by an individual or a group who will do anything to acquire what is necessary for themselves by any means and any cost without feeling or regard for their fellow man. This aspect of humanity, along with another human trait, envy, are the two most dangerous traits we exhibit as a species. These traits have caused more pain and suffering than any emotion that we as humans can experience. Greed and jealous behavior is what drives the system that we live in now, because as long as the acquisition of wealth exists, people will continue to be thrusted into poverty and servitude, and our species will remain where we are in the grand scheme of our evolution. We encourage you all to invest in precious metals, grow your own food, trade goods with your neighbors, Open dialogues with them in order to aid each other when the time is needed, and free yourselves of this tyrannical system we live in. We need to live and survive as well as continue our species, not fill our pockets with as much paper with fancy ink as we can, because when it comes time to survive you cannot eat paper. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us.